live in. That is it's so exciting, it's hard to describe for me.
All right, well, speaking of Blizzard, we're now going on to the Diablo 3 Heroes and Monsters panel in the main hall, so let's check that out right now, exclusively here on DirecTV. Enjoy it.
Welcome to the Diablo 3 Heroes and Monsters.
Can we have more smoke, please? What was that? Oh.
Lights are here, so we can't really see whether there's anyone in the audience. Is there anyone?
Is there anybody here? I guess that's a yes.
That was all right. That was pretty good.
There we go. There's a couple people.
Yeah, okay, a couple out there. So we've got a massive PowerPoint today, so we're going to go pretty quick and get right into it. We're going to be talking today a lot about Diablo 3 Heroes, Monsters, and we're going to tell you a lot about our newest class, the Monk. So I'm going to see if I can work this thing. Your presenters today are Leonard Boyarsky, our lead world designer, also the lore dude, as he's known on the team. Wai Ching, who's our technical game designer. We call him the dude with skills because he works on a lot of player skills and monster skills. Julian Love, our lead technical artist. Anything that explodes in the game, at least partially his fault. And I'm Jay Wilson. I'm the game director of Diablo 3 and your mad overseer for the day. All right, so if you were at the opening today, you saw that we announced the Monk, and we're going to tell you a little bit about him. The first thing you might be wondering is, why did we choose Monk as our next class? So there's a lot of good reasons, you know, beyond just we threw a bunch of names in a hat. He was really inspired by pen and paper role-playing games. A lot of our characters and classes that we've been wanting to do really harken back to kind of the golden age of pen and paper role-playing games, and there were so many cool, kind of unusual classes that you don't typically see in a lot of action RPGs, so we really wanted to do and explore characters like that. So we really liked the idea of a character who was really fast, was melee-oriented, but it was also fragile. That's a really interesting contradiction that we thought would make for good gameplay. He's a good contrast from the Barbarian. We knew we wanted another melee class, and we really wanted somebody who felt like the polar opposite of the Barbarian. So we love fighting games on the Diablo 3 team. Do we have any fighting game fans out there? Yeah. So we absolutely love them. We have all kinds of tourneys on the team, and we really wanted a character that felt like a fighting game character. And our last reason was we really liked the idea of doing something different, something that wasn't necessarily an expected class. So the Monk's Kit. Kit is what we refer to as, this is what drives the character, this is what we refer to when we ask, what does this guy do? So the first one is we really wanted him to feel like a fighting game. So we wanted him to do probably some kind of combo moves, definitely a lot of martial arts. Holy magic. We wanted a character, again, who's a contrast from the Barbarian, who could use magic, and because it was a monk, we figured Holy was a great choice. We wanted a character who focused on speed over toughness, so we wanted a guy who was basically, you know, could get in and mix it up, but his main kind of tactic was either a hit-and-run tactic or a, you know, I'm gonna nail you, I'm gonna walk away, and you're gonna die while I'm, you know, wandering on to the next monster. We wanted skills that were really complementary. This is something we try to do with every class, but with him, what we really wanted was, with our combo moves, we wanted them to be able to blend into one another, such that there was a lot of depth in how he combined his moves together. And we'll get into that in a minute. And we didn't mind creating a character who, at the very beginning of the game, would be a little bit more challenging to play. Because of his combo moves and kind of the fact that he's a little bit fragile, kind of early on we know he's a little bit harder class, but that's okay. In the long run, everybody kind of evens out, and he's really there for players who want a character like that.
And once we've decided that we want to do a character like the Monk, we decide what his background's going to be, what his story's going to be. You know, what we decided with the Monk is the kit. What we call the kit is what makes a monk or a character class definitively that class, the way he dresses, his skills, everything about him. So why did we choose this monk kit? Well, we wanted to do something that was different. You know, we'd seen the Asian Kung Fu style monk before, so we wanted to do something that combined an Eastern Orthodox type, Eastern European kind of feel with the Asian archetype, not only from a look standpoint, but also with their philosophies, the kind of mixing of their religions. And also it was really fun to go into our artists and say, you know, give me something that looks like a cross between an Asian monk and an Eastern Orthodox European monk from the 13th century, and watch them go crazy. These guys are the holy warriors of the game. They are from an area called Ivgorod actually. That is in the foothills on the edge of the Sharvald Wilds, for those who care about such things. They are raised in secluded monasteries from early in childhood to be pure reflections of their deities by perfection of a myriad of fighting techniques. To prove their dedication, they are tattooed on their back with very intricate tattoos of their 1001 gods. This tattoo takes their entire life to complete. As you can imagine, their very structured theocracy or theocratic religion is very different from somebody like the witch doctor or the barbarian. So this makes a very different interesting kind of contrast between the two characters, so there's something we can play with there within the story, within the game, quests and stuff like that. As far as their society, they report to what is known as the patriarchs, who are the philosopher kings or the priest kings of their society. Like I said, they are the holy warriors. They do what some might consider the dirty work of the church, but they don't see it that way. They view everything they do as sanctified. They spend their time when they're not fighting or practicing fighting in intense meditation to cleanse themselves of all sins. The world, they're known throughout the world, and their citizens in the rest of the world fear them and respect them in equal amounts, because they're killing machines, but at the same time they are very holy men.
So Jay told you that one of our goals was to make a character that had a fighting game feel, someone that emphasized speed over toughness. So one of the questions we had was, how do those aesthetic goals translate into actual skills? One of the things we knew we wanted to do was have a combo system. Other combo systems, it's definitely something that is familiar and reminiscent of some fighting games. Combo systems have also been seen in both Diablo 2 and World of Warcraft. So one of the goals for us is to say, okay, well, if we're going to do a combo system, how do we create a combo system that fits really well for a game like Diablo 3? If you take a look at the assassin from Diablo 2, her combo system, what we really liked is it emphasized two mouse button play. You know, you put one skill on the left, one skill on the right. It's great. Unfortunately, one of the things we found is a lot of times you'd build up a bunch of combo energy or combo orbs, and then there'd be nothing around to kill. So it felt very anticlimactic in that respect. Or sometimes it'd be hard to manage exactly how the combo came out, or people weren't mixing and matching. In the World of Warcraft Rogue example, we liked that players combine different skills a lot to kind of sequence their combos in a lot of different ways, and we really liked that part. But it also, two issues was sometimes players in World of Warcraft have a lot more skills than fit on just a left and right mouse button plus a hotbar. And more importantly, it's hard for me to imagine building up 5 combo points on a target in a game where everything dies in one hit. So we had to do some iteration there as well. The first skill that we have to show you today is Way of the 100 Fists. This came from the aesthetic goal of feels like a brawler, feels like a fighting game. This skill, basically in the video that you're seeing, the player is actually hitting the same mouse button 3 times in a row. It's Way of the 100 Fists, but every time you use the skill, a different move comes out. So the first time's a dash, and then you click the same skill again, multiple strikes come out hitting enemies, and then you click the same skill again, and it's an AoE. And so you can kind of see how this is a new thing for the Diablo license, to have a combo system that feels a little bit more like